Okay, so now we are going to do our floors, ceilings, and the second floor. So the method is actually very simple. It's the same as doing the walls, just that instead of tracing the walls, I'm just tracing the outside perimeter. So I'm just going to do a quick one. You can do it yourself as well. Just show you how to do it for the second floor, and then you can do the rest for the first floor and the ceilings. Okay, so basically we just need to snap it to vertex. Is easier. So just snap, 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 snap. Okay, and then we extrude. It doesn't have to be very thick. Probably just a 10 mm will do. Okay, so you can do the rest for the ceiling and the first floor, and then we'll come back again in the next section. Okay, so I have done up the first floor, second floor, and also the ceiling, and I have also renamed my meshes to something that looks more useful rather than lines and boxes. So this will help us to differentiate our mesh as well. So I think this is a good practice. So in every student that I teach, I always try and tell them to name their meshes properly. So next we're gonna do up our windows. So before we continue, I would like you to go to this website 3D Sky and download the windows. Okay, the links are in the description, so just go ahead and download these windows now, and also the doors. Okay, once you download, I'll see you in the next section. Okay, so right now I've downloaded the two 3D files, and I have placed it specifically in a folder. I will advise you to do so, where you manage all your files in one single place. So for me, I've created a UE4 project folder, and then I put in my 3D models, and then later I'll have like structure, bedroom, living room. So all these 3D models are actually managed nicely. So I also put my 3D Studio Max file inside as well. So all these things are centrally managed. So if you have followed my lessons previously, I'm quite OCD in all these things. So it's good to be neat and tidy so that you can find all your necessary files. So once you downloaded the files, just open the door, the black door. Okay, and then we will import it into our main project file. Okay, so I've already opened the door, and it seems like the door is actually modeled in centimeters, but because we have set our system unit scale to millimeters, it will prompt this question for me. So I will always rescale it to the system unit scale, which is in mm. Okay, so let's not worry about the materials first. So there will be two doors, right? I'll let you choose whichever door you want, but I will go with this one. So what I'll do is I'll highlight this door, and I want to transfer it to the main project file that I have here. So remember the tools that we set up. So all we have to do is just copy. Okay, once you highlight, you copy, and then when you go to the main project file, you can just paste. Okay, and when you paste, of course, this will be scaled nicely, and we just need to move the door accordingly. The other way, of course, is you can import the files directly, from where you downloaded the 3D Studio Max file, or rather, if it is a 3D Studio Max file, you can merge. And import is for like 3DO file format and stuff like that. If it is a 3D Studio Max files, then you just merge. But I prefer doing this method because I do want to import both the doors. So now once we have imported the doors, all we have to do is we just move them according to the place where I want to place the door. So I need to rotate this a bit first. Let's Ctrl Z, and let's lock the angle snap so that it snaps nicely. Okay, so you can see this is now horizontal, and I'll just move the doors to the appropriate place. Okay, so as you can see, this is not, there's a bit of intersection, but I think it's fine. Okay, so I just want to move the door here. All right, and then use F for front view, and I think as long as the door frame is covering the walls, I think it should be fine. Let it jut out a bit. Okay, I think there's a bit of space here, so I think this is fine. I will also make a copy and then let's place it at the toilet door. Okay. Oops. So it seems like I have done this a bit wrongly. So it's okay, we can always make adjustment to this. So let's make adjustment to this. So it seems that in the CAD drawing, the place where we want to place the toilet door is actually not 90 mm. And because I'm thinking I just want to use the same door, I don't want to, you know, find another door that fits this door nicely. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to adjust this wall that I have done so that it can fit the door. So what I'll do now is I'll just place the door nicely. Okay. Okay, so jut it out a bit, and then after that what I'll do is I'll move this line, this cutoff point here, slightly to where the door should be. Okay, then that should be done. So how we can do that is I'm also glad that this happened, so I can show you how to do this. I'm just going to highlight this wall, okay, and in the modifier we have a edit poly already, so I'm just going to select the edge. I'm just going to try and select all the lines here and move all the lines over to this side. Okay, so let's try to select this. Make sure that we don't select the wrong line. Okay, we just need to select the lines that are actually in the same plane. Okay, so once we have selected all the lines, we can use the top. Just want to make sure. Okay, we can use the top, and then if I want to snap, I can also snap. I can snap it here. Okay, so I think all the lines are moved. Okay, so yes, looking good. So that is how I can kind of like adjust the wall a bit so that I can use this door as well. Okay, so don't worry about this. This is just the layout. Okay, so that's one way to do it. Of course, the other way is to find another door, but I think this is sufficient. Okay, let's move on. So I've opened my window 3D Max file. Okay, and as you can see in the window, there are actually two objects. I'm just interested in this window, so I just highlight it, and then I'm going to copy and paste it into my main 3D file. And as you can see, when I rotate this, okay, you can see that the window is a bit big, okay, as compared to the structure itself. So because I'm using an estimation, we don't have a exact dimension for the window. I'm just going to scale this, okay, by 70%, okay, to make it smaller. So that's how we are going to do the window. Okay, and the other thing I want to comment about the window is that you can see that this window are made up of very primitive shapes. They are just boxes. Okay, I think this is very suitable for Unreal Engine because there's actually a lot of ways to model a window. They are even 3D Studio Max themselves, they have a Windows modeler. Okay, and you know, you can model a window directly using their Windows modeler. But for Unreal Engine, especially if you are using static lighting, these primitive shapes actually work the best because again, because of light maps. So there are a lot of ways to model like this using other modifiers to model the window, but primitive shapes like this is the best. So which is also why I've chosen this window. So in case you are modeling your own windows, just take note of that. Of course, having said that, you can always model your own window and experiment with the light maps, but the best results is always using these primitive shapes. Okay, so once I have scaled this window, let's move on. So now I'm going to make instances of this window by cloning it. Okay, and then what I want to do is I want to make four windows side by side so that it form a big window, and we make two of it. Okay, so I can use the snap tool. I make sure I'm snapping it to an edge. Okay, so I drag this and snap it directly to the edge so they are snapped together. Okay, and then I highlight both this window, and of course I clone it again. Okay, and this time around I snap this to this edge. Okay, so as you can see, they are snapped nicely, both of them. Okay, so this is my window. Okay, then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clone this entire thing. Okay, and so I have two sets of windows. Yeah, then what I'm gonna do now is I'm just going to snap these windows to the wall here. Okay, make sure it's X and snap. Okay, and then Y, snap it here. Okay, so I think this will work. And then the other, do the same thing for the other side as well. Okay, so let's move it down, snap, and then oops, that's why all this locking and snapping is very useful. Okay, snap. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to model these walls here. Okay, make a wall here, and then make a wall here. Okay, and of course to cover the top as well, make a wall here. We'll leave a bit of space here, around maybe 10 mm, to model the bay windows. So let's continue. So now, because we don't have a layout to guide us on this portion of the wall, what we can do then is to use the line tool and use the windows as a guide. Okay, so I'm gonna snap it to vertex. Okay, and for the one here, we just have to be estimate first, because we can change them later. But okay, so obviously they are not straight, but then we can use our snap tool, just highlight the point and then make sure that it is snapped to here. For this, it is snapped to here. Okay, and then we can snap it to a edge, and on the Y side we can snap it here and then here. Okay, so from here we can then be sure that this is actually in one single line. Okay, and of course, because I snapped to the windows, you can see that at this moment in time it's actually snapped to the top of the windows, which is not really what I want. So I use a left view, and I'm just gonna take this and then snap it to a vertex. Okay, move it down and snap it here. Okay, just snap it here. Okay, so after that we can use the extrude modifier and extrude it 5700 mm. Okay, so we have a very nice wall here. The other, so now we just have to extrude out this portion, extrude out this portion, and the same for here. The other thing that I forgot to do is that my windows should actually lean at the back of the wall, not on the front. So let's just move them. Okay, again we can just move it and snap it here. Okay, so let's continue modeling. Okay, so we are going to continue modeling the window wall. Okay, so now because we need to do some modification to this, I'm going to convert this to a editable poly. Okay, and then remember we learned about the connect and extrude, so I'm just going to connect these two lines. Okay, and a line is being drawn in the middle. Then I'm just going to move this up all the way up. Okay, so again I have snapping turned on, so this is snap to the other side, the window. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same, just going to highlight these two lines and connect. Okay, then I'm going to move this up and then snap it here. Okay, and I'm going to do the same here, but for this particular one I'm going to leave a bit of space for my bay window. Okay, so maybe just around here. I'm gonna do the same here. Okay, where's my connect? So if you, oops, Control Z, if you want to be absolutely sure of where this position should be, what we can do is to draw a primitive box. Let's draw a box. Okay, so make it 100. So I want a 10 cm space in between, or rather for my bay window. Okay, so let's just move the box here to make sure that we actually have the line right. Okay, so maybe 10 cm is a bit too thick. Okay, so let's change it to 70. Okay, maybe still a bit too thick, maybe 50. Okay, so let's just make sure that it's actually near the bottom of the window, and then let's snap back our lines. Okay, perhaps using this. Let's move the box nearer. Where is my box? Okay, so I'm gonna use this box as a guide to make sure my snapping is done correctly. Okay, so let's move and snap it to this line here, so that we know this line is about 50 mm or 5 centimeters below the bottom of the window, so that is our bay window height. Okay, so let's continue to model. Remember, previously we used the extrude, so we just highlight the face and extrude. Okay, so now we highlight the face, extrude it. Okay, and then use the top view. If you want, we can snap it. Okay, and then do the same thing for the other face. Okay, so highlight this face, extrude, use the top view, press W to call the move, and then snap. Okay, and I will leave you to do the same for the ones below. Okay, so I hope you got the bottom ones done as well. Just going to delete off this box. Okay, so if you change it to a shaded view, you should get a nice looking wall and the windows. Okay, so I think it's very nice. We'll stop in this lesson for today. So in the next lesson, we will continue to model the bay window, and we will explore a bit of chamfering to smoothen some of the edges. Okay, and before you go, I just want you to remember to rename some of these. So for the windows, I'll just rename them to SM. Yes, so the windows, we're gonna rename them to SM windows, rename. Okay, so that they look clean. Okay, and the wall that we created, rename it to SM window wall. Okay, DOS SM DOS. Let's rename them SM DOS. Okay, so it keeps things nice and tidy. I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye. So I also want to make mention that from this episode onwards, I've uploaded the 3D model links. Basically, this contains the links to all the 3D models that I use. Most of them are from 3D Sky, and as we cannot distribute these models, you have to download them yourself. 3D Sky, these are free models, but they only allow 3 models per day to be downloaded. So as you follow the tutorial along, you can just download these 3D models and then store them somewhere. Then in the future, when we have a use for these models, you can then use them. So start downloading now and keep them, because unless you pay their subscription, which you can download 30 models per month or per day, sorry, then if you are using the free account, you can only download 3 models per day. Okay, and also the subsequent 3D Studio Max files that I share in the Gumroad page will not contain these models as well. So thank you so much, and remember to download these files as they are quite a lot. So before we end, I just want to share a bit more on how you can support the channel. So first of all the PowerPoint files that we use in this tutorial, you can download it. So when you download the PowerPoint files and any project files that we give to the channel through Gumroad, your email will be captured by us. So we will send some marketing materials in the future if you allow us to do so. Of course, you can choose to opt out, but this will help us in our marketing efforts. Of course, the final UE4 project file, it will be for sale as well. So if it is priced at a usual tutorial cost fee, but this is absolutely not compulsory. So if you feel you want to support the channel, you can get the UE4 project file for a price. So all these links, as we are preparing for the YouTube videos, we will slowly add all these files into our Gumroad page. So some are not ready yet, some are already can be downloaded. So you can refer to the YouTube description for the links to where to download these project files. And also, I just want to share with you the way to contact us. We have a YouTube channel. You can contact us directly through email, and of course, the easiest way to find us actually is through our Facebook channel. You can directly message us. So these are the links to where you can contact us if you have any questions, you need any help. Feel free to just look for us. Of course, if you can, remember to subscribe to our channel and click on the notification button. So when we post a new video, you'll be notified. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next lesson.